Hello everyone. We will discuss about testing the programs. Number 5, testing object-oriented systems. It takes several additional steps to make sure that your object-oriented programs characteristics have been addressed by your testing techniques. Testing the code's difference between object-oriented and traditional testing. So, pag gagawa ka ng program o kaya project thesis, kailangan alam mo kung ano yung gagawin mo, kung object-oriented ba siya o traditional testing lang. Tapos, may mga ways kung paano mo siya matitest yung code mo. Yung mga practices na kailangan mong gawin. Tapos, yun nga, kailangan alam mo rin kung ano ba yung pagkakaiba ng object-oriented sa traditional testing. Next, testing the code. You need more class definition using class if one class is playing two or more roles. An operation has no good target class. At example ng testing the code kung paano siya gawin. Kapag marami kang class, ito dapat yung gagawin mo. Pag isang class lang siya, if one class is playing two or more roles, pwede mo siyang gawin, marami kang ilagay na function para madalian ka. Tapos, if an operation has no good target class. Pag wala ka namang specific na target, kung gusto mo mahaba yung code mo, kahit hindi ka na gumamit ng function, puro ano na lang, declaration, tapos puro procedural function, ganun. Puro object-oriented na lang gamitin mo. Tapos next, you have too many class definition, unnecessary class. Ito naman yung mga bagay na masyadong marami na yung class mo. Kailangan mong gawin, mamili ka ng class mo na wala attribute. Tapos, may operation at saka association. Kailangan mo re-develop to test your track an object state and changes to the state. Kailangan alam mo rin pagbabago kung babagoy mo siya as maraming class o onti lang. Depende sa programmer. Tapos, depende rin sa system na gagamitin mo. Ito naman. Difference between object-oriented and traditional testing. Ito, alamin natin kung ano yung pagkakaiba nga. Sa object-oriented programming, isa siyang language model organized around objects rather than actions and rather than logic. Ito ibig sabihin na to, puro siya objects. Tapos, onti lang action niya. Tapos, madami siyang logic. Gaya na to, object-oriented does not always minimize testing. Sa object-oriented, kailangan laging tinetest. Kasi, pag may mga nawawalang function, o kaya miscommunication function, hindi siya naaayos agad kasi may mga malfunction ng system nagde-debug, ganun. Kailangan alam mo yun. Kung gagawa ka man ng isang program, kailangan alam mo kung gagamit ka ba ng mga loop, ganun. Kung ano yung mga gagamitin mong paraan, mga ways para mapadaling program mo. Adding or changing subclass requires retesting of three methods inherited from each of its ancestor superclasses. Yung tinatawag kasing superclasses, ito yung pinaka-head ng class. Kailangan meron ka nun. Tapos kailangan mo i-add yung subclass. Tapos nire-require nga rin mag-testing. Kunyari, kada add mo ng class sa isang program, kailangan marami kang testing. Kasi hindi mo alam, may konting pagbabago pala sa system mo. Need to develop a new test case to test a method that is locally override by a subclass. Meron naman kasing class na override niya yung code mo. For example, meron ka na palang ganong class na same declaration, same variable. So, hindi siya nagtutugma kasi hindi siya tatawagan. Tapos yung pagkakaiba naman nung traditional programming, yung kanina binanggit ko, object-oriented programming yan. Pagkakaiba naman traditional, ito yung programming na medyo late na. Kasi ito yung mga example na traditional programming like Java, C++, tsaka C Sharp. Ito yung mga dati na ginagamit dating traditional testing. More on ano lang siya, kung magko-code ka ng ganito, tapos pagtapos mo na lahat ng code, doon mo lang siya itetest. Kumbaga yun yung traditional. Kasi ngayon, iba na, in IT industry, kailangan talaga laging pag may lalagay kang code o may bago kang modified na source code, kailangan i-update mo siya lagi. Update, tapos backup syempre, tapos syempre testing, yun yung last. Tapos yung test case naman. Ito yung test case, kasi di ba may test case tayo sa ano, may pagpipilian siya, may case 1 hanggang case 8, ganun. If test cases are not representative and do not thoroughly. Mas kung may mga ginagamit ka namang mga cases, huwag na may masyadong marami. Tapos yung dapat lang gamitan ng test case. Exercise the function that demonstrate the correctness and validity of the system. Kailangan exercise din natin yung function niya. Kung ano ba talagang function ng isang program, isang project. Tapos kailangan neat na siya, malinis siyang tignan, user-friendly syempre. Tapos kailangan valid siya sa system. Then the remainder of the testing process is useless. Kasi mga hindi naman kailangan idagdag sa system, you should handle that na tanggalin mo na siya kung di mo na kailangan papabigat sa system mo. Testing, test case, to verify that they are correct. Feasible, provide the desired degree of coverage, and demonstrate the desired functionality. Yun nga, for more information na lang, watch nyo na lang tong next video na ipa-flash dito sa screen.
So there are two ways to handle exceptions. There's a traditional route, and then there's the OOP, or Object-Oriented Programming technique. The traditional way, which occurred before object-oriented program really existed, before we had created methods to handle these exceptions, traditionally programmers had to plan ahead of time for the possibility of an error occurring. And so in this example, if someone accidentally divided by 0, you could use an if statement to make sure your test variable was not 0 to begin with. So if we had a variable called num1 and there was user input for that num1, we could say if num1 does not equal 0, then go ahead and divide num2 by num1 and have that total equal the outcome. Else, total is going to equal 0 no matter what. So it checked for that division by 0 using an if statement. That's a traditional way to handle errors. But now we have object-oriented error handling techniques, and so in C# we can handle exceptions with 3 unique key terms. We have a try, a throw, and a catch. So know that a try tests or tries a procedure whether it will complete correctly or not. And then a throw occurs if an error is detected, and then we use that throw to give an exception handler. And then the catch is a block of code that processes or handles the error. It catches the exception. So in more detail, the try contains a statement that can or could produce an error. You need, or it's preferred, that you include at least one catch block after the try block. And so then in a catch can only handle one type of exception. And so remember, as we saw in a previous lecture, there are several types of exceptions: arithmetic, an argument, index out of range exception. There's lots of different types. So know that a catch can only really handle one type.
Hi guys! Ang nire-report ko ngayon ay test planning. Paano nga ba mag-test? At paano i-plan ang pagte-testing ng isang program or isang system? Describe the way in which we will show out customer that software works correctly. Address unit testing, integration testing, and system testing. Ito nga yun yung kung ano yung ano yung iti-testing natin na unit, integration testing, and system testing. Kung ano yung kung system ba or isang website or isang isang app. Explain who does the testing, why the tests are performed, how the tests are conducted, and when the tests are scheduled. Content of test plan. Test objectives. Yung mga test, ano yung objective na ilalagay natin, address each type of test, unit ba on to functional, installation and testing. How to test will be run. Ano yung itetest natin para maging maayos yung system or maging maayos yung website. What criteria will be used to determine when the testing is complete? Ano ba yung mga criteria para masabi natin yung testing is successful or complete? Testing tools needed. Yung mga kailangan natin para mag-testing. Ano ba bang mga kailangan natin para matest natin ang isang website, yung mga nag-function ba yung website, test or maayos yung flow ng website or system. Testing environment needed. Kung ano yung environment ng website or ano yung team. At titignan natin kung applicable ba yung ginawa or inayos natin or ipapakita natin sa mga client natin. Test schedule includes the overall testing period. Ano ba yung testing period? Ano yung mga schedule? Dapat yung mga schedule dapat sinusundan natin kung ano yung kunyari Monday, Tuesday. Dapat tayo sa oras kasi sobrang mahalaga ang oras sa paggawa ng isang system. The major subdivision of testing in their start and stop time. Kung kailan magsa-start at kailan matatapos ang testing. Any pre-test requirement, generation of test data, setting up test environment, and the time necessary for each. The time necessary for preparing, reviewing the test report. Ito na yung lahat ng ginawa nating testing sa isang project natin, dapat may reviewing the test report. Gagawa ka na lahat ng document kung ano yung sa una, ano yung tinest, pangalawa, pangatlo, para alam mo kung saan ka natatapos, lahat ng ginawa mo meron kang timeline. At ito yung video na papanoorin natin ay kung paano ba mag-test sa isang code or something, lahat ng gagawin natin sa pagtetest.
So it's important to test your code because you never know the impact it's going to have. You sit down and you write a piece of software for one thing and someone else might see it a month or a year down the road and think of another awesome way it can be used, and you want to make sure that the code you write doesn't break in other situations. And I think that's one of the things that's awesome about computing is that the code we write has such a big impact. But in order for it to have a big impact, we need to be very vigilant about making sure that it's good and we build a good product that other people can then take and do more awesome things with.
Automated testing tools. Testing tools are useful and often necessary. Tools for code analysis, test execution, test case generation. Code analysis tools. Static analysis is performed when the program is not actually executing. Second is dynamic analysis is done when the program is running. So static analysis is hindi nagra-run yung program mo at saka automatically may message error na lalabas sa program mo. Ang mostly yung nangyayari doon is nagkakaroon ka ng syntax error. Mali yung pagde-declare mo or na-double yung pagde-declare mo ng variables sa isang program. Saka yung pagkakasunod-sunod niya is hindi tama. Kumbaga nagkakaroon ng trigger about sa program. kasi hindi alam ng program kung anong unahin sa dalawang condition na nailagay mo. Tapos sa dynamic analysis naman is nag-run yung program mo pero hindi siya nagpa-function properly. Once na naparan mo nga yung program pero pag once na nag-input ka ng data, hindi siya mag-work. Magkakaroon siya ng message error pag once na isinave mo na yung data. Next is static analysis. Code analyzer check proper syntax. Structure checker generates a graph from codes to the logic flow. Also check structural flows. Data analyzer. Review the data structures and data declaration. Check conflicting data definition and illegal data usage. Sequence checker. Check sequence of events. Ito na sinabi ko kanina, yun nga, ang madalas na nagkakaroon ng error doon is yung syntax mo, tapos yung logic flow, at saka yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng events na nilagay mo sa isang program. Dapat yun naka-arrange siya according to the program you are doing, and then to make it less para hindi ka mahirapan hindi ka mahirapan hanapin yung codes mo at saka alam mo yung kung anong mauna do sa condition. The dynamic analysis, also called program monitors or debugger, they watch the report program's behavior. Tracking the running of program, tracing the running of program, set breakpoints to stop running, allow us to see a snapshot of program status, examine the program contents of memory or values of specific data items. Ito naman, kaya kasasabi ko lang din kanina is, nag-run yung program mo pero nagkakaroon ka ng error bandang muli. So, tama yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng event mo, pero nagkakaroon bandang muli is nagkakaroon ka ng error maybe sa query or also sa mga classes, hindi sa classes, sa may sa syntax na ginamit mo. Kasi minsan yung syntax, minsan yung computer, tumatanggap siya ng syntax na nare-read niya pero hindi naman pwede sa program na ginagamit mo. Test execution tools. Tools for automating the test planning and even running the tests themselves. Capture and replay, record keystrokes, mouse movement, mouse clicks, and response to inputs while a test case is being executed by a human tester. Playback or replay the recorded test cases. Sa test execution tools naman, dito naman is pinapakita dito kung saan ka nagkaroon ng error at nagkakaroon siya ng highlight kung anong word are kumbaga underline kung sa ibang programming language, underline ang magkakaroon ng ipapakita niya dun kung saan ka nagkaroon ng mali sa condition na ginawa mo. Stubs and drivers tools. Commercial tools are available to assist you to generating stubs and drivers automatically. Test case generators. Structural test case generators base their test cases on the structure of the source code. Form a specification of programs using standard finite state machine like UML can generate all possible paths. User can choose coverage criteria. Automated testing environments. Testing planning, test case generations, test execution, test result reporting, retest, testing result, and so on and so forth. Dito naman, para kailangan natin sa pagtetest, kailangan may plano kailangan mong planuhin yun para malaman mo kung nasaan yung mga error at makita mo kung saan ka nagkaroon ng mali doon. Saka sa test case generations, siya yung tutulong sa'yo para ma-generate mo properly yung codes. And then sa test execution naman, siya naman yung doon mo malalaman kung nagpa-function yung ginawa mong program or hindi. At doon mo din makikita kung saan parte ng program ka nagkaroon ng maling declaration or syntax error. Test result reporting, doon mo ini-indicate yung mga mali mo, saka doon mo rin malalaman kung anong yung mali mo na katulad ng syntax error, missing concatenation, or missing wrong declaration na pagde-declare mo, or na-duplicate mo yung pagde-declare mo ng variables. Tapos retest, dun mo i-retest kapag once na gawa mo na yung pag naulit mo na yung 4 na pagte-test para hindi ka na pabalik-balik sa pag-test ulit. And sa test resulting analysis, doon mo na ipapakita yung doon mo na malalaman kung saan ka mostly nagkamali at saka kung saang part ng program ang kailangan i-monitor. Then that's it.